You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach. All right, guys, welcome to For Better and Worse, the podcast again in Jess's living room. We have the boys with us. We have...
Oh, Joe. Sorry, Joe. I thought we were still doing sound intros.
And Josh.
And we have the boys with us. We're going to do a little Q&A app.
Yeah, shout out these questions that your like fans sent in or your
The
listeners.
followers.
So good.
Thank you guys so much for submitting these questions. They were so good. There were so many of them. We were really blown away, and we're so stoked to get into them. Let's start them off, right?
I'm just making sure we got all of the updated ones.
Oh, I didn't know there was more. So
Yeah.
Are there?
Some of these
I
will
just
be
checked
off
and
the
there
top
are.
of the head.
There were two more from the first.
Thank you,
2 hours
guys.
ago.
I love that you guys care.
Keep it up.
Keep it up for Better and Worse fans.
Do you guys have
No,
like,
we don't. We don't have a
you
fan
know what I was
club.
gonna say? Like, what is their name? Do they have a group
Oh,
name?
like the followers?
Yeah.
All right, I think it's too soon for that.
FBW fans.
No, don't put that on
We
there.
don't
They'll
know. We
figure
don't
it
know.
out.
We'll
They'll
figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
come to. It'll
The
come to
fans
It's
head.
gotta come
figure it out.
naturally.
If you
It'll come
request
ahead.
it will happen, but we can't make it happen for us.
No, you
Hi-
True.
hype man,
You
Josh.
can't give your own
True.
nicknames out.
Can't-
They gotta come naturally.
That's so true. That's actually one of the number one rule of life.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself a nickname.
Oh, if you give
Really?
your own nickname,
Josh,
oh yeah, you'll be.
Flush. What's the rush?
he's ruined. You can't do that.
Josh,
stuff.
what was your nickname in high school that I didn't even know about?
Ketchup.
Did you like ketchup?
Yeah, I literally wore like Walmart had these shirts that I'm sure you've seen them, like the graphic shirts, just like Heinz 57
Heinz, oh,
ketchup.
Yeah.
I literally wore that one time.
And you got, how old were you?
Probably like 15.
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys was
Damn.
like, "Hey, ketchup!"
And you were like, yes,
Was
I'm
it Jackson Demise?
No, it was Corey Harris.
Corey Ayers! Hey, Corey.
I love that you got a shout out.
Madison's sister Olivia's boyfriend.
Oh.
in. No shit.
What a
It's
small
so-
world.
Oh, it's so funny being a townie.
Yeah.
We are the most townie we
You
could
guys
ever
are
be.
townies.
I got mad because the nickname I had ended up
You got
being
me
my
on.
youngest brother's same nickname. Now we both have the same nickname, and that sucks because we
Can
have
you-
the same initials.
Can you please,
No.
for the listeners of the podcast, one of my favorite stories of all time, fun facts, is your second brother, your other brother's
Ooh, Sonny.
name story.
You want to hear it, guys?
I mean,
I
it's
want
pretty
to
short.
know it.
It's pretty short, yeah. So I have, there's 4 of us. Me, my sister Amanda, my brother Sonny, or what he was formerly known as Timothy.
Oh,
Formerly
God.
known as
Formerly
Timothy.
known as, the artist once known as Timothy. And the youngest brother, Jeremy, who my parents refer to as a tequila mistake. Sorry, Worm. So, Sonny, at age 2, I think we were at a DIY. I don't know if you guys remember those stores, but they were like kind of like a Home Depot. And middle of aisle, like number 6, Sonny stops and he's like, "Hey, I'm Sonny." My mom's like, "What do you mean you're Sonny?" She's like, "Timothy, come here." He's like, "I'm not Tim. I'm Sonny. That's my new name."
He says, I want to be called.
He was owning it. And my dad says, "I don't give a fuck what your name is. You just need to come here. You're 2 years old." And from that day, from 2 years old, he has been named Sonny, including high school diploma. Actually, I don't know if that says it on there. But high school graduation, he was Sonny. College entrance, he was Sonny. So he has now gone by Sonny.
Is he legally Sunny now? Did he
He did not legally change it because I do know at work he does go by Tim. So
What?
I know I don't talk about it. So
You're saying there's just like an entire police precinct that calls him Tim?
yes. Well, the weirdest part
That's
is like
horrifying.
sometimes I'll get a case that he's involved in, and I'm like, "Tim Mackless, I don't know who the guy is. Why does he have my last name?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's Sonny." But no, so I probably can tell you I have not called my brother by his real name since I was 8. Honestly, not once.
And I remember saying this to Jess. I'm like, so there's
love.
Joe, Amanda, and Jeremy, and they just got really Italian and named
Sonny!
And also
Sonny!
Sonny, I don't know if Sonny will listen to this, but he literally looks like a Sonny, like to a T. The
Yeah.
most freckles a person can have. He's got really
Orange hair.
good red hair.
Yeah.
Us people with red hair, we don't say orange. Yeah.
I know. I called him a ginger, and he's like, "Ooh, it's too."
Jess.
Oh, Jess.
Well, I was
Cut
like being
Steve, I'm
funny.
sure.
I'm like, ginger.
No, like I understand like there's jokes, but when South Park came out with that ginger thing, it was the hardest year
When
of my
he told
life.
me that, I was like, I feel bad. I was like,
The gingers
there's
have
also
souls.
like,
No, I was told at 6 years, or not 6 years old, but 5th grade, bad age to be picked on.
Yeah.
That I didn't have a soul. I was called a vampire. I mean, I love vampires, but I didn't want to be one.
You're an Edward stan.
Well,
We'd love to see
I
it.
never
That was
saw the
before
Twilights. This was before
Twilight was
Twilight.
out.
But I wasn't a vampire. But I mean, I had a soul.
oh,
Aw,
Joe,
Aw.
you do have a solid big
Thanks,
one,
Jess.
a big old
No,
heart.
but my brother Sonny, he might not have one. His red hair is really red.
My
Right.
favorite photo of Sonny. I don't even know Sonny that well.
I know you.
He's the
I know
best.
him through you.
He's the best.
And it's at Mandy's wedding.
It's
His
so
picture
good.
wearing your dad's
It's so good.
Sonny puts on this suit that he thinks is his, and it doesn't
It's one of
fit.
my
The
favorite
sleeves are
moments.
too long.
That-
It's too big.
You might
I
have
literally,
to add that picture
I was
to the podcast. 'cause
crying. I was crying laughing.
My
Because
favorite
Sonny-
part?
Sonny is not to be fucked with. Like,
No, God no, not even by me.
because like if you pick on him or piss him off in the slightest, it's just like immediate rage.
he protects himself and he'll fight if he
He
needs. He
will.
sticks up for
What
himself.
will.
Enneagram do you think Sonny is?
I don't know all of them. I wish I knew more. He carries so much passion with him, and he's also, I want to say competitive, but he stands up for what's right, like at all costs.
yeah.
He
If
could be
you
an
are
8.
wrong, you are wrong.
Yeah.
And you need to know that you are wrong.
He might be an 8.
But my favorite part of that picture is the youngest brother, who I think is a 2, like full-hearted, is in the background telling Sonny,
is a
like,
2.
hey, it's okay, we'll figure this out. Almost
It was
offering to like,
so-
I'll sew this
And he
jacket for you. The kid's 20 years old.
He
18 years
shoots
old.
me a look like, Jess, what do we do? And I'm here just to take photos, sir. I was like, I am here to document the moment, and I am in tears. I was laughing
It's
so
this
hard.
photo of Sonny looking at himself in
This
the
poor
mirror,
kid.
irate. His hands are at his sides. He's like, "What the fuck?
10 minutes before we're
What
about
the
to walk
fuck?
out into the wedding.
What am I wearing?"
And we find out that he's wearing Joe's and his dad's
Yes.
suit jacket, which is entirely too big for him.
If everyone listened to me, the 6, everybody's suit was organized. Sonny just didn't happen to look at what suit he was supposed to put on.
Joe anticipated this problem. He solved the problem. Sonny went around the problem and created a new
Yes.
one.
Right.
And then my dad kicking down the door. Does anybody see my jacket?
Yeah, it was like clockwork. It was so, it's classic MacLeese fashion, if
Hey,
you ask
It was
me.
a fun day. Mandy and Shane, happy wedding 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to get into the question?
Please,
do
yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. I don't have any particular order. I'm literally
Yeah,
just
they're all so
fire
good.
them off.
Okay, so we'll start off a little sentimental.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do Joe go first, then
Yes.
Josh. Okay, what was the moment / thing that made you look at Jess / Rach and say, "That's my person"?
That's my person moment.
Yeah.
See, it's different than the moment I fell in love with you. But the moment I knew, like, hey, this is the person that, like, I'm going to get super old with and, like, we'll be old and funny, was we were at one of our favorite bars, and it was Edison's. Shout out to Edison's. It's the best
And
pizza.
Tremont.
It's the best pizza in the entire world. And there was this band playing jazz music. They're all in like their 60s and 70s. And the place is just packed with hipsters. I don't know why jazz music was playing. Maybe it's the ultimate hipster move. But Jess and I ended up in the middle of this grungy bar dancing our asses off. And we were the only two dancing. Even like, it was probably so weird that the band was like, get these white kids off the dance floor. It's just like, you're not supposed to be dancing to this song. But I knew like while we were dancing, like this was it. Like, I'll dance with you when I'm 80.
Well, that was the first time I told you I love you.
That also might be part of the reason. No.
Okay.
I knew.
I was like, well, Joe said he loved, we were in bed.
Don't share this.
Yeah, he's like,
Don't share this.
we have to because it
This
was.
is devastating.
Joe, I'm
I
gonna put
wanna-
my feet underneath
good,
your
yeah.
butt.
I want to
and you're
explain this. He makes this moment of it. It's like super organic. Do you not want me to go into it?
No, you should.
It's super organic and it's like not planned at all. And Joe's just like, Justin, I want to tell you this. Like, I love you. And I was like, no, I did not say anything like super awkward. I was like,
That was the problem. You didn't say anything.
Oh,
no, it was like, I hear you. But it's like, I don't want to piggyback your I love you with an I love
appreciate
you.
it now.
yeah.
I didn't want to take away his moment from my moment. But it wasn't that I didn't feel that. It
was
was more so,
horrifying.
no, and it's like so devastating to Joe. But for me, that was like, I needed to be validated. I needed to hear that for me in my journey and like what I was going through at the time. And it was like, yes, thank you. I know thank you's the worst answer in the world.
It is exactly
but
what
it
she
was,
said, though.
but I was like, okay, I'm not going to piggyback on your I love you. I'm going to say it in my own way, in my own time, which feels organic to me, just like this moment was organic to you.
No, and now that I know you, I mean, it's better than probably anybody. Like, I understand that you protect your emotions extremely. Mine are like out there in the world all day. And so now that I understand that, it makes more sense. But in the moment when I say I love you and you just say thank you, like, guys, I was sleeping in bed like this the entire night. Like, please get me out of here. I can't do this. It was so bad. Like, that's the same as like, hey, like, I'll have a number 2. Thank you. And I said, I love you. And you're like, thanks.
No, it was, I wanted to validate your feelings and be like, thank you so much for sharing that with me. But I just like didn't want to take that moment of your confession of love to mine. Like,
I do think like we did not do this right. I don't think you'll ever want me to tell the story of that when I accidentally told you I loved you.
Ooh,
I was gonna get into that actually.
Okay,
Kind of
can we?
okay,
Can we?
wait,
Please.
let's
So
wait.
I
Let's
think
wait
it
till
was-
What's your
Right.
moment? Is this the same moment?
No, this
No.
was in a good moment. Keep in mind, Josh and I both came from long-term relationships.
Hard.
So I think not saying I love you felt very weird because I think both
Yeah.
both Josh and I knew we had that this is my person.
Ooh.
This is my person.
You knew.
And so the
Yeah.
love had to grow, but it felt really weird not saying I love you.
Right.
It felt really strange because we had love for each other. We'd known each other for 10 years.
Man.
Like, we
Right.
had feelings for each other as, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Mm-hmm.
And can we say the day? Is that allowed?
Yeah, sure. I'm fine with it.
Oh, now I'm anxious.
Okay, so we are having...
Was it the Lucci's and wine?
Nope.
Okay.
It was the time after that where you tried a Barstool Sports recommended.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that.
I want to hear it so bad.
No,
When the
we'll
mics
talk
are
off
when
air
the
on
mics
that,
are
yeah.
off, yeah.
Josh,
Dude, that's so
We
funny.
have
I
to
need
now.
know
No.
It was-
Anyways,
it was
this.
my-
whenever
You can tease it for later.
whenever I knew Rachel was my person, not to change the subject, but I'm changing the subject. It was probably in high school.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
When there's a
Young
couple
Josh and young Rach.
specific instances. Okay, so in high school when we were I was walking towards the I was walking.
Pickle is just panting at us.
Dude, she is struggling.
She's
She's
feeling the energy
She
too.
is. She knows this is
She's
lovely.
reading the energy.
Yeah.
But I was walking past the front entrance, going away from the cafeteria, if you know Kent Roosevelt High School, and Rachel was coming towards like the gym in the cafeteria, and I just saw her. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna make her my girlfriend in high school.
We'd never
Of
spoken.
course, yeah, we'd never spoken, and I was super awkward,
Whoa.
not great with girls, like in high school.
It's very Goodwill Hunting.
But yeah, I was just like, I am going to make her my girlfriend. And then we started talking, and then she brought me a heart-shaped PB&J one
Did you
day
cut
for
it?
lunch.
What was that for, Rach?
Did you cut the
Custom
PB&J?
Heart-shaped PB&J for lunch. So that was instance number
That's
2.
embarrassing.
Rach,
That's embarrassing. that
were you
brought that up.
pursuing?
That's more embarrassing than the Barstool Sports recommended item.
Yeah, it is. And that's really embarrassing, which is why we're not fucking talking about it. And then the third instance was the night I thought you were talking about, which was the wine and Lucci's night, when we
When we had sex for the first
we
time.
partook
Okay.
in some
In-
intercourse for the first time.
Intimacy.
Intimacy. And we
Yeah.
both had
The
maroon
grown-up.
underwear on.
We
You and the
did.
grown-up.
We had
way.
matching
Yes.
underwear. We didn't plan it.
Cute.
Obviously, we didn't.
It was so cute. Honestly, people want us to talk about sex lives on the podcast,
Yeah.
and I think both Jess and I are like, we don't have that interesting of sex lives to talk about.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
That came from Rach.
That came from me.
And
Do you
it's-
have an interesting sex life, Joe? Do you go crazy?
I think we have stuff that audiences will connect when the time is right. I'll say
Right,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but when I think of like a hope for everyone's first time,
Aw.
it was mine and Josh's
Yeah,
like
it was
first time having
wonderful.
sex. It was It was wonderful. It was 100% consensual, planned to a certain extent. Like we said, like it was like, this is what I like. This is what you like. Like
your body's just got it.
Yeah,
yes,
it was perfect. And then I think the fourth, not to cut you off, but like they keep happening, which is nice.
That's real.
And that was at your guys' wedding during your first dance.
Dude.
I imagined our first dance then. Threw on the shades.
What a feeling, man.
Crying my eyes
You're
out
kidding?
at your wedding.
Wait,
Yes.
are you serious?
I swear to God, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. Chest out. I was looking hot as hell
Chest
that
out.
night.
You were looking.
Yeah.
Guys, look at the pictures.
That
look at the pictures
melts
of our
my
wedding.
heart.
Just like standing in the back, because you guys know that little concrete patio.
Yeah, dude.
And it was just like
guys.
everybody was surrounding you. And
That
it was
moment
just,
is so, that song and that moment was so big.
it was
It was
insane.
just like, it wasn't just for us. Like it was. Like
Yeah.
I was very much in tune.
it was
when
the first time you were present that whole entire day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
it was, but
Where
it
the
was,
whole night just stopped
but it was such a bigger moment because like
for everybody.
Joe's dad heard that song and was like, that moved me. And then I hear that from Josh being like, that was something that I envisioned for my life. It was,
oh my God.
it was like that artist, Dermot Kennedy, shout out Dermot Kennedy, his voice in that moment under those lights and that, like in that presence, I feel
It was
like
awesome.
so fucking
Yeah,
powerful.
I wish I would have looked up at the Stones and saw you up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was
We were
But I'm glad you
sobbing.
had that moment.
Oh yeah, like it was a stoic cry. So it was just
Okay.
like Marshall
Yeah.
like tears.
Yes.
Let
But
us-
isn't it cool that like high school Josh, I'm gonna make her my girlfriend.
Yes.
Adult Josh, that's gonna be my wife.
Right.
Well,
It was poetic
Ooh.
for sure.
Life is absolutely fucking insane because it's like,
roller coaster.
like we have so many memories. Like think of high school. How many first days of a certain class did you have? You had your first day of English, science, math. Every single quarter, semester, or whatever.
yeah.
Throughout high school. I remember junior year, my first day of Miss Farrell's algebra class. I remember Josh Pridemore walking in the classroom with his red backpack. I remember him,
Oh.
That's crazy.
which is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, because, I mean, also he came in like a bowling
Oh, freight
ball.
train.
Freight train.
I'm dapping
He's
everybody
dapping
up.
everybody
Just like
Oh my god.
just like saying what's up to Miss Farrell, like calling her by her first name.
It
like
was-
Carla.
It was his like third time taking that class.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I ruled the roost in that room. Like,
Oh my
no joke.
gosh.
That's so good, man. It's just so crazy, you guys. Like, if Jess and I were in high school together, we wouldn't even talk.
Oh no, we talk about this very often. Of like high school Joe and high school Jess never would have made it.
No.
I
Where
don't
I'm-
think never would have made it, but
No,
you
no.
were the cheerleader and you were the football star, so you would have talked. You would have been friends.
No,
Star,
but like he was like, I'm the goody two shoes.
Oh, I would
and
have.
and like you
Jess out.
and you know
Jess has parties.
Jess holds Project X parties at our house. I don't like that. My dad, the cop will call.
I wasn't a rat, but I would have been like, I don't associate with Jess.
We wouldn't have been the same crew. And also, like, those people in high school pissed me off. Like, if you were about to rat at my party, you wouldn't be
well,
invited.
I'm not a rat. I never ratted anybody out.
But I also, like, if you were like, no, I'm not
yeah.
going to come to your party because, like,
Yes.
I'm scared of getting in trouble.
Yeah,
Do you want to know?
That would have been me.
Do you want to know
It
one of
wasn't.
my favorite parenting things that I've ever heard in my life? We were at my my cousins, who's like actually my mom's first cousin, so they're more like my aunt and uncle. Their only rule that they have for their grandkids when they're at their house is like you can't snitch on each other.
What?
No snitching. No snitching, because it's like, why are you tattling? Why are you telling on each other? And it's like, I haven't looked into this enough, and I've had like an entire bottle of wine to myself, but I like that. It's like, it's establishing loyalty within them. It's encouraging them to work out their problems. It's not bringing them to someone else. It's
Yeah.
like, because all three of the kids are very close in age. And it's like you're tattling for stupid reasons. If
Yeah,
it's
that's
if
very
someone's
I
in
guess if
trouble,
it
if someone's in
became-
trouble, or if they're held in, like they know
That's
this,
different.
Is
but
it-
it's no like, Daniel went and he got chocolate out of the cupboard and you didn't say he could.
Yeah,
And they're
I think
like,
if it
no
became
snitching.
problematic within a
Yeah.
sibling group, but I also think like there's times where it needed to be done.
Well, yeah, I think
I'm
there's
the
a fine
youngest.
line.
I'm the youngest, so I'm like,
Mm.
I think that Britt must be going through this, or like Kristen's
Jazz.
feeling this way.
Evil.
I
But
know.
what did the
no, but I'm
snitching
the
bring
youngest.
you?
Nothing. I was never snitching. It was more just like stuff.
Snooping.
No. Stuff like my
That's a
parents
word.
didn't know that I thought that they should know. But if it was like nothing in high school ever, because
No, there's
I
a
had the
difference
deepest
between-
secrets to keep. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Big difference between tattletaling and like what you said. Like,
Queuing in.
hey, I'm concerned. This needs to be brought up.
Yeah. I feel like that's the difference.
But my dad was a detective. I mean, I confess to things like I never did. I was so scared.
I confess to things I never did.
I mean, that dude, I was like 8 years old, and he put one of these lamps in front of me, and was like, I found cigarettes in the backyard. Well, I didn't smoke. I was 8.
never forget the time my mom brought me moldy grapes, threw it on the table. It's like,
This is stupid.
whose is this?
What?
You guys are
This is
smoking weed, and I know it.
Oh, no.
A moldy grape, and we're like, Mom, the bag has holes in it, like grapes. This is moldy grapes. She's like, prove it.
Prove it.
Prove it. I don't believe this for a second.
What?
Yes, dead ass. She and bring it up to her this day. She still remembers it. She laughs her ass off because
Oh
she's
my
like, "I'm
God.
sorry, I didn't know. I really thought it was." I was like,
That's one of the best
"What
stories.
we looked like
This
in the
woman had
60s
no
and 70s,
idea.
Mom, is not what it looks like now, and it's not in holy Ziploc
No,
fucking
yeah.
bags."
We've
okay?
made in a science lab now.
Seedless red grape.
We were like, "Mom, no, okay, we're
That
smarter
is-
than this."
Quite literally funniest shit I've ever heard in my
That's one
life.
of the
Yeah.
best.
Okay, so
Yes.
let's ask another question because
Yeah.
we've
Please do.
only asked one.
Yeah,
okay.
we gotta keep moving.
Yeah, we gotta
Okay.
keep it going.
We have good questions to get through.
Do you guys care that you share personal things publicly, fights, etc.?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because Jess and I do a really good job communicating about what might come up in the podcast. And Jess's sister Kristen also gave some advice once that I try to live by, where she said, don't talk about or project something that you haven't processed yourself.
Yes.
So everything Jess talks about on the podcast that involves me is something that Jess and I have already processed. And there are times where I've said like, hey, like we're not ready for that to be out in the world.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and
That's it.
I'm fine with it as long as it's properly vetted.
Ooh, nice.
I'm totally fine with it, and I think it's a way, almost like a way of therapy, like a secondary therapy
Yeah.
for you
wow,
guys
I didn't think
to,
of that.
to get it out and talk among just as friends, you know.
Yeah.
Well, look at like your podcast itself. Like you're reaching this audience who's
Yeah.
dealing with the same thing you're dealing with,
It's
and we're dealing with what they're dealing with. So like, it's
if
okay
it
to talk it out.
yeah, if it can help somebody else or that someone else can relate to or make it, I mean, like this is real shit we're going through, and
Yeah.
I want to be as transparent and as realistic as possible, and if that can come across to other people, then I'm doing my job, and that's what I'm doing here on this podcast. It's the reason I'm here. So
But you've always respected like where I'm at with things, and I know Rach has done the same for Josh.
Yeah.
right, and like that's like rule of thumb for us. If it's like you're still processing it, even like fights of the week, I'll date
Yeah.
back like weeks ago because like I'm still processing the fight of the
chips.
week. Like no, not the chips, but no, like if I'm still processing the fight of the week, like I'm not gonna say it that week.
No, because
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
know where you're at. with
No,
it.
because it's just like that's not something I'm gonna come across as like not
Yeah.
me on the podcast, and
And,
it's just
like,
like
last week, Josh started therapy for the first time, and I asked him before we recorded, I was like, hey, can I say that you started therapy? Because it was something like, it was one of my like boundaries or whatever. I said, like, I needed him to start therapy before we like entertained the idea of getting engaged, getting married. And he was like, he didn't want me to be the one to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's fair.
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You know, like, but he just said it now, so now I get to talk about it.
Which is awesome.
Right.
Like he was ready.
which I'm glad that like he was like I'm gonna own that. Like
Yeah.
that's for me to say. That's
Yes.
dope. And now he's on the podcast and that he owned that.
Yeah.
Dope.
And I don't think every single partner would be okay with their partners doing this.
Gosh no.
No.
Gosh
but
no.
I mean, obviously, I didn't necessarily ask for your permission, but I knew I kind of didn't have to.
No.
Like you,
Not at all.
I mean, I do think, like, if we're getting like real, like, Josh obviously doesn't love that I've been divorced. He doesn't love that is a part of my story. It sucks, and
It's
it sucks. Like, it sucks for me. It sucks for him. Because it makes our story a little messier. You know, like when we tell our grandkids how we met, it's like, well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
met in high school, re-met 10 years
No.
later after I got out of a bad breakup and I messaged your
No.
grandma
Timing
on
wasn't
Snapchat.
right. Timing
Ooh,
had
nice, Jess.
Yeah.
timing had to align the way it did. Like Rach had to go through this stuff she went through. Same for Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you guys would have met.
I didn't mean to. That was a
Get it
bad
out.
time to choke.
No, it's okay, but I just don't think that you guys would have met in the timing that you did.
Mhm.
Like, it would never would have aligned. Like,
No.
right out of
No.
high school. No.
And Josh and I did try to date in high school. Like after my high school sweetheart and
Yeah.
I had kind of ended things, Josh and I tried to date and it just wasn't right. We couldn't put words to it. We remember drunkenly fighting on Patrick Maloney's back porch at a house party because I was like hooking up with someone else, like making out with some other guy, and he was like, "I thought you were ready for a relationship," and it was like honestly, we were very drunk, but probably the only real relationship him and I had.
Timing.
Like the real conversation.
A real conversation because he was nervous around me. I wasn't
I
ready to
gotcha.
be honest with my life and all my shit.
Timing.
And it was not right for us in
Also,
that moment.
Yeah.
Teenager, high school shit.
Oh
It's
yeah.
hard.
Are you
Maturity.
even mature enough for that?
Maturity.
No.
But also, you guys had to mature enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. No,
like,
yeah.
to be able to
Process
wrap your
what you're going
hearts and
through.
heads around this relationship and this, what you guys are and your
Yeah.
8s and 6s. Like, you had to figure that out because honestly, Rachel, when I met you, I think you were a 2. I think that you were catering to Dave's 1 as
Yes.
a 2.
Oh yeah.
And I think you identified as that, and that was true to you. But it's also
Yeah.
you had to come to yourself as an 8, meeting Josh,
Yeah.
I
and
love that.
complimenting his fucking 6,
Yeah.
his 6ness, down
Perfectly.
with the 6ness,
Yeah.
down
Down
with the
with the
6ness.
sixness.
But I just don't think that would have worked out in the timing
No.
of high school or after high school.
No.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, because you guys have been through so much, and Jess and I have been through so much, timing on our part. I don't know if you told people that I was married before as well.
No, we can talk about that.
Well, so I was married before I met Jess when I was young. I was 25, and unfortunately, she passed away in a car accident. And so that's been a challenge that I had to work through myself, and also with Jess, like,
Yeah.
to get where we are today. Like, I mean, that's hard for both partners to comprehend.
And I think
we'll
very
dive into that in
yeah.
the future, but
I
But
think
very
that's-
differently, I think you can relate. There were certain things you couldn't process about
massively.
until you got into
Massively.
like that, and that's how I felt like with Josh. There were certain
Yes.
things I would never have been able to process until I was in a relationship
Yes.
that triggered me about something.
Hence all of my decisions in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Literally every decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question is for Josh. This person asked, I want to hear from Josh how he navigated dating Rach through finalizing her divorce.
This is good.
That's
Really
that's a
good
good question. It fucking sucked. It was hard. But
Yeah, hold it back.
I had to learn to kind of, as a 6, like just like be almost a rock whenever it was hard to be a rock, because of how much I saw her going through and the pain that she was going through. And there's a lot of conflicting emotions with going through a divorce. So it was really hard. And I think her going to therapy and coming to terms with why she got divorced has really helped recently. And these things are just, getting cleared up and worked through as of the
Still
past
fresh.
6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not like it's something that just happened. You sign the papers and it's over.
no.
Right.
You know?
There was like trauma there.
Yeah.
Like there was like literally 7 years of my life where I was conditioned to a certain behavior that was so counter to what I needed as a person. And it's like working through that and like getting to a point where I didn't expect that from Josh, where I didn't, anticipate fights.
Man.
And still, like, there are moments, like we talked about in the last episode, which was literally like an hour ago, where I said, like, when we were talking about his dad and all of that, and how I said to him, like, hey, if he says something, I'm getting to this point. I was literally concerned. I was like, I'm getting to this point where I can't keep my mouth shut anymore. Like,
Right.
I'm
Like
go-
afraid to tell me that.
And
Yeah.
and Josh said, so say what you need to say, Rach.
Oh, it's so good.
I was never told that. I was never once told say what you need to say. Like I had such bad fucking interactions with my in-laws where they, made comments about my weight or my mom's weight or.
Which, by the way, let's stop there. If you're gonna trash Cher Roche, you got beef with me.
Oh, yeah.
Point
she
blank,
is
period.
Yeah.
She is a saint.
Where, like, literally, and I think this is expected, and I was a part of a very, strict religious community, but I do feel like a lot of, like, faith Christian-based women are taught that selfishness is the worst fucking thing you could ever be. Being selfish is the worst version of yourself. And to me, I was told sticking up for yourself was selfish. Making someone else uncomfortable was selfish.
Oh, man.
And so I had to, like, swallow that. And so when I was brought down, when my family was brought down, I was like, making someone else uncomfortable is selfish. Reflecting on my husband in a negative way is
that's
selfish.
really hard. You say peace out?
I'm saying it too.
Yeah.
I say,
in
I
those
felt like
moments.
you were fronting as it too.
Oh,
Fronting. Good. Yeah.
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 I know that's not who you are.
No.
matter.
You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, you, at your best, are who you are now with
Oh, yeah.
Josh. And it's just so crazy of my perspective of Rach, and I say this all the time, is like, I met her at the end of her marriage. But
Right.
also, like, at a point where she wasn't accepting it. Like, is accepting as it being, like, divorced or, like, ending it. So it's like I saw her as someone different at who she is now.
Oh, yeah.
But
the same things applied, like the energy I get from leading people, the energy, like all of those things were like me at my truest self.
Right.
Which was being an 8, but I had to front as a 2 because, one, I knew 2s. I knew how to act that way. It was an easy role to play.
sure.
The helper was an easy role to play.
Absolutely.
And making someone else comfortable was a very easy role for me to play. Not easy, but the easiest role of, any inauthentic version of yourself can be.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, so I'm very thankful that, like, Josh stuck with me through that period because I've talked about this before. I don't think you wouldn't recommend.
No.
You wouldn't recommend this.
Well, I love that honesty there.
No,
Me
I would
too.
not recommend it, but I think I would do it 10 times out of 10 again.
10 out of 10.
But I also, that just, like, speaks to Josh and Rach,
It
too.
does.
Like, it just is, like, that was really hard to witness as a friend, let alone,
A partner.
like, alone, I said with the D, alone as a partner,
Yeah.
to see that 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as she's processing it, like, literally, we just found out in therapy, she realized that she owes him nothing.
Right.
Literally, that whole time, thinking that she owes him something. Like, that's a lot to digest and a lot to go
ton.
through with a partner. And, like,
Yeah.
shout out to you both
That's a lot
for
of
going
strength.
through that together. But it's like, I'm so thankful as a friend to know that Rach had Josh to go through that with. Like, I couldn't pick anyone better.
Yeah.
Don't make me get emotional
Yeah.
because it's happening again. No, but I'm just saying, thank you for that, and I love you both.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Next question.
Okay.
Sipping Bud Light.
Pass me the
Light.
Bud Light.
Crying in the club. Okay.
Again.
Okay, sorry if this is intense, but baby names? Question mark, question mark,
Yes.
question mark,
Let's
question mark,
go
question mark.
Yeah.
on the baby
This
names.
needs a
Yeah.
Josh has
bag.
some
I
big shit to say.
So I have no problem with first names. You know, we've had discussions about last names as well, like how it's gonna be hyphenated,
Yeah.
whatever. The only thing that I want is to hopefully, you know, every guy wants a boy, obviously. So I would like a
I want
boy,
girl.
and I want the middle name to be Optimus.
No.
So something Optimus Pridemore.
Oh.
No.
If you, have a
Funny.
last, if you have a
Sick.
last name like Pridemore,
No.
Yes.
I think you'd be failing.
Because
your
it's
kid.
going to be Roche Pridemore. Roche
That
goes
is
first.
That is a wrench, but
Right.
That's a Roche,
Who
baby.
says?
I'm also hyphenated, and I only go by my Pridemore last name. So I'm Gibson
Got
hyphen
it.
Pridemore.
But what I'm saying is, if you have the last name Pridemore and you don't use Optimus,
Yes. Also, middle names are
That's-
so inconsequential in the grand
No one
scheme of
cares.
things.
No one
It
cares.
could be something
Yeah.
so off the reservation.
yeah,
So my thing is, because I'm an 8, I'm like, we got it. Like, if you're going to do it, fucking do it. If you want to put Optimus in there,
Make his first name Optimus.
make his first name fucking
All right,
Optimus.
done.
No, I won't allow it.
That's a
Also because I'm using all the energy I have in the world to have girls. Okay?
And I also have
Not
feminine
because
sperm.
I'm terrified of girls. If I genetically have girls, if we don't adopt, if I'm able to have my own children, like
Yeah.
whatever, I'm scared of them. I was a nightmare. But the reason why, and I'm not going to share all my baby names because specifically
You
my
want to hold them
girl,
close?
my
Ooh,
girl
yeah,
baby
tell them
names
out
are
there.
sentimental to family
Oh,
members. And so they don't need to know.
It's a surprise down the road.
So surprise down the road, but we can say our boy name / Les. We have
Same.
we have a note. You got a notes, baby
We do.
notes?
We have a running list. Now, Jess and I will say, I mean, we barely agreed on any.
This
We're
is
really
a
far.
very small list of
Oh my
the
God.
list.
Just,
we're gonna-
well, I'm still
Go first.
keeping
I
my
won't.
list on there. Names you don't like, because I think you will like them at some point.
I won't, but go ahead.
Kian.
Cute.
Kian, yep.
These are for a boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeke, which I don't really like, but Josh really likes.
Surf's up.
Elton. I really like the name Elton.
Cute.
Rocket
I can
Man.
see that.
From
Elton's-
Elton John.
Clearly.
And then skipping my sentimental name ideas.
Otto's good.
Otto. So if we named a boy Optimus, I would want to call him Otto.
Oh, okay. Cute name.
That's sick. Oh,
Is it a autogram reference or just the name Otto?
Just the name Otto.
Okay.
Rocket Power,
Cute.
if you want.
Yeah.
No shoobies.
We'll go with Otto.
No shoobies. Woogity, 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 woogity.
Evie. I like that name.
That's
Love
cute.
Evie.
Bryn. I like the name Meggie, Ozzy, and Celine. We all have
You guys
Cute.
have really good names.
We have only a few.
Really?
Because
There's
we
some
can
other ones I'm
agree
going
on.
to throw out there
Oh,
so the world
this is the
can
name
vote.
that I really like. Okay, this is my favorite baby name of all fucking time.
Go off,
and
sis.
Josh was a bully in school, and so he won't let me name it.
no.
It's-
But
Sucks.
I want all of you to name your kids this. It's a great name. I had a boss name this, and he was awesome. Arden.
No.
Oh, I like that. name.
A-R-D-E-N.
I like that name.
It'll
I like that
never. It'll never work.
I
That
like
kid
that
will
name
go
a
through
lot.
so much therapy because
Ooh, we're
kids
older.
in his second and third grade class are gonna call him Fart and Arden
Ooh, crap.
so
Arden.
easily.
Yeah,
I thought
dude.
of that.
You put that together as a...
So
I don't
as soon as
see
she said
that.
it, I was like, "Oh, Fart and Arden." Yeah, that
I
kid
think-
farts all the time.
A lot of our names depend...
Oh my
A
god.
lot of our names depend if the kid has red hair or not. Because we lose some options if they have red hair. I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. For girls, Florence.
Yes.
Shout
So
out Meredith.
Cute. Shout out Meredith. Cutie name.
That is, it was one of
Whoa.
my, but it also was one of my,
But-
we can call her Fleur, but it was also
Fleur,
one of my
love it.
favorite places I visited in Italy. Like, from like a standpoint
but
of
I'll
personal
tell
experiences.
You the same thing I tell Meredith, okay? I will be calling her Flossie when she's sassy.
Cute name, though.
Yeah, you can.
Flossie.
Okay, girls. Eleanor. I
Yep.
know this is super common, but Nora is so cute.
It really
Nora is so cute.
Nora is cute.
Yeah.
Little Noras are funny.
Chloe.
Jess,
And-
I will say, if you name your daughter Eleanor and call her Nora, she's just the Jess of the 2020s.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay? Just so you know.
100%.
She will be a Jess of
Whatever.
2020s.
Whatever. Sawyer is
Yep.
another
Love
girl
Sawyer.
name. Boys, we have Miles and Holden, and that's it.
Are you fucking Meredith?
Oh my
my
God, I
best friend
forgot.
has two children named Miles and Florence.
Oh, no. We just stole their names.
Oh my god, that didn't even register.
It really didn't. She never brought that up.
Miles
solid names,
with
though.
a Y or
They're
a
great
I.
names.
That is
Wow, I
fucking
didn't-
funny.
There's
I
some
didn't even think about
outliers
that.
that we're still looking at for
I-
boys.
We're not.
I
Kill-
can deal with you naming. I just don't know if I can deal with like a faux niece and another faux niece and nephew named Miles and
Yeah,
Florence.
that'd be tough.
That would be very.
That would be
confusing.
tough.
Like Chew. Yeah, we probably. But I love Miles Macleys. Miles Mac.
That's very cute.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
a good
very
name.
cute. Miles is a great name.
Yeah. The ones that I'm hanging on to for dear life, for a boy, Killian.
No.
Mine are a little too like
Irish.
Irish?
yeah, because I was gonna say the girls are like Neve or Siobhan.
The fuck?
I like
Porn
Siobhan.
stars.
Whoa, whoa!
Siobhan.
That's our future daughter.
Yeah, I'm not into
There are
it.
a lot of good Irish names. Like Aoife is a
Oh,
good name.
so good. I think Killian is so powerful.
I'm on it.
Clementine.
No.
I also love Margot.
No.
I like Margot.
Margot's cute. Margot's confident.
No, I want like elegant names like Florence and Eleanor and like pretty names.
You have like a very spring name list.
She does.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like it has to be on the
Where
bright
Joe's
side.
is like a bowl of like hearty soup in the winter.
Yeah. And
That's
I
a
also-
perfect
You know?
explanation.
Why are you so good at
He's
describing
got stew
food?
names.
He's got stew
funny.
names.
Yeah, you got stew names.
got
bro.
Stew pickles.
Stew names.
I like to think of Christmas Vacation.
What?
Every time like our kid Margot messes up. I don't know, Margot.
I don't know. No, but they're terrible characters in
Yeah,
the
they are.
movie.
No, we'll figure it out.
Okay, moving
I just
on.
have a feeling we're having girls. It's just like something in the universe.
Josh feels like he's got feminine sperm.
Yeah, I said that. I do.
But
I don't
Joe
know, is that how it works?
Joe wants it though. He wants all girls.
I think I'm a better girl dad. I don't know.
My dad wanted girls.
Pressure's off. Pressure's off of.
My mom like
Raising
tracked the
men.
moon or something.
Yeah,
so
you
she
can,
had
like,
two men.
heat up
She
your
had two-
belly or,
She had
like-
2 girls.
There's some weird witchy tactics.
I'm into witch stuff.
You too.
Big time.
You're into witch stuff?
Oh,
Nice.
obsessed with witches.
Okay, so boys' biggest pet peeve about the gals.
Ooh,
I want to hear
nice.
this so bad.
How much time
I have
we got?
2 of them.
How much? Oh my
Joshua.
god!
I have 2. No, listen. I wrote down answers to all these, so I was prepared for the podcast. Type
Yes.
6. So,
Let's hear it.
the 2
Dang.
pet peeves, one is fun, like, oh, this is, and then one's a little bit more deep. The first is what you already mentioned in the last episode. I don't want to say like OCD, but like the compulsive cleaning. Like, you almost flip our house and make it a new house when you clean it. And like, our house is very clean, but like in every single, what's it called? Nick and cranny?
Nope.
Nook and cranny.
Nook and-
Did you say Nick and Cranny?
Nick
You
and
know
cranny.
he can't. He doesn't know.
I struggle with words. But I'm
Alma
talking like
modern.
everything is so detailed, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I can't help out because everything I do isn't.
There
You gotta
is-
work on that.
There is
gotta work on
there is no chore when like guests are coming over,
That's a whole nother
especially.
world, yeah.
Well, that's a different like that's definitely rooted in childhood, whereas like day-to-day living versus when like we'd have parties or like holidays
Yeah,
would
that's
happen.
a good point.
But it was like there's no chore that Joe can accomplish that is like done well enough.
No, I know
So
where
I
that's
hear
rooted.
you.
I know where it's rooted, and I know like it's
This
just
is what
part
you
of
can work
you.
on in couples therapy. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
And then
you
the
for
other,
that.
the deep one.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
that.
for that.
Thank you for that.
Oh no.
Is that what it sounded like the first time he said I love
Oh,
you
it's
after
dead
you had
on.
sex?
Dead on. I think I just. Have
I'm digesting it, but I'm not.
Thank you for
accepting
that.
It. No, I'm just kidding.
Then the other one, which is a little bit deeper, but we already kind of talked about it. Maybe it deals with our personality types. My emotions are so out there, and yours are a little bit more reserved. And when it comes to arguments or like even moments of like real happiness, I want it addressed immediately. I want to throw it out there, attack it, and you're more calculated. And I think it helps us because your approach saves like my reactionary problems. But
Give me an
As
example.
a third party, though,
Yeah.
I feel like it's more so where your emotions come from because I would
Okay.
never describe Jess as reserved. She
I
is
didn't like that you
joyful
used
and
reserved,
out
yeah.
there. When she's upset. When she's happy. She's
but, like,
happy. But where your
there's,
emotion
like-
comes from is a place of anxiety.
If
Yeah.
there's
and
turmoil,
stress.
it's like I'm navigating. With my relationship with Joe, what I've been talking about in therapy is that I don't express my emotions in the correct way because like I don't know why relationship stuff gets a little harder than it does with like friendship stuff or like holding back. Like you said, like I don't hold back, but I do because I don't know how to express my emotions. So it's like we work on like I feel this because you made me feel this way, and that emotion needs to be specific because you did this or because you made me feel this way. So that's something that I'm working on that I'm actually not good at in other things.
I think more what I meant is like when you're feeling something, you know when you're feeling something. It's not like
Oh,
someone
yes.
who's you might not be able to verbalize what you're
Right.
feeling.
yes,
Right.
that's what I should have said.
But I think we all know when you're feeling
100%.
something.
Sure.
It's not like you're reserved to the point like with your dad, for example, who's like stoic. Like you're not stoic.
No.
no.
Like,
Right.
I know when you're stressed or sad or happy.
Sure.
I might not know why you're sad.
Yeah.
You know, but I know that you
Right.
are.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
what I wanted to
apparent.
say was, like, when we have those moments, Rachel, I'm so glad you said that, is I just want to fix it right now, and you have to be more like, let me get there, and then we'll fix it.
Yeah, that's something I'm learning too. It's like I'm allowed to ask for time.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to
My
ask.
bad on that one.
Yeah, I'm allowed to ask for. Let's let this sizzle. Like, I need to go for a drive. I need to escape. And it's like, that's okay to ask for. It's like your fighting techniques, your fighting language. It's like, I need time to process this, and I need it to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm learning too, which is not in Joe's fashion. Joe's is like, fight it out immediately, and it's very verbal, and it's very back and forth. And for me, it's like, I'm still processing what happened a few hours ago. So it's like, I need more time, and then asking for that time and asking for that space has worked wonders for us. So
Right.
Josh, save me here. What's your pet peeve?
Yeah, gladly. So I have a few I'd like to get off my chest. One of them being the fact that Rachel takes her shoes off and leaves them in the bathroom sometimes. 2 days ago, I found 4 pairs of Rachel's shoes in the bathroom.
or
What a spot to put your shoes.
It's just an insane move, and it
You
drives.
take your shoes off when you take a shower.
No, well, actually, some would say
when
you
you
take.
get in the house,
Yeah,
I think.
some
right?
would say you take them off when you get in the house, but we still love you.
Okay.
My other
still
pet
love
peeve.
We don't take these well, clearly.
Yeah.
No, you guys are. I was glad to listen to yours. That helped me a lot.
One of my other pet peeves would be I love to play Call of Duty. Shout out Warzone. Shout out the COD Squad. Sweaty Saturday. Shout out Garrett. Shout out Tim.
Swamp ass
Saturdays.
Swamp Ass Saturdays. If you know, you know. And Rachel really hates it whenever I don't tell her that I'm going to play Call of Duty.
Sounds like a you problem.
So
Sounds like I established an expectation
Yeah.
that you don't meet.
you're right. No, you're right.
Wait,
You're
what's
100%
a
right. But
Sweaty
sometimes I want to
Saturday?
spontaneously get on with the
He puts
boys.
scamps and he gets swamp ass.
And we can go into that.
I don't know what a sweaty Saturday
Yes. So Sweaty Saturdays originated in Garrett's house, to where we would take the whole Saturday and just sit in our own sweat and play Call of Duty and just grind a Saturday out. And so that's kind of where Sweaty Saturdays came from. And these guys interpreted that into Swamp Ass Saturdays.
Because we know you have swamp ass.
Oh yeah, you're definitely, you have a mildewy ass
Oh,
Mildew.
man, guys.
Oh,
after a
babe.
solid Saturday. But
Oh.
it's fine. You're just with the boys. You're with the boys, you know? So those are my pet peeves.
Okay. Love it.
Okay.
Oh my god, Rach is like not accepting.
We'll take
No.
notes for the next time we're bothered.
I think that said more about you than it does about me, and that's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say about it.
No,
Okay, so this is like a two-parter. Do guys like it when girls make the first move? / what advice can you give girls in the dating world?
Ooh.
What do guys want from women?
That's heavy.
mm-hmm.
For me, 150,000,000%. I love when girls make the first move, but I think that's the fear of not control as a 6 in me, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, ever, ever kiss on the first date. It's just something I live by, and I'm so afraid to make the first kiss. Shout out to Jay Cart for right outside kissing me for the first time on the first date. I was
Rachel
blown away.
did that as well.
Blew me away, but I was
yeah.
very thankful because I wanted to
I
kiss
was
you.
not about.
Smooches O'Hoolihan.
Smooches O'Hoolihan. I wanted to kiss you so bad, but I would never have done it.
I was like, give it here.
I mean, we would have gone a lot of dates before.
Okay,
I
I say this a lot. It was the body language that you weren't moving towards me in that
Pickle,
awkward
away from there.
goodbye.
Yes.
It was like a hug and a backup. That backup was like, no.
Well,
Come
I'm trying to respect you. We just
it
met.
was such a power move because like that, I'm just so used to like being like hovered over in first dates and like that whole pressure of the first kiss. But it was like, oh, you backed up, but I like wanted like genuinely to kiss you. Like I felt I had like a genuine
It was a
good
good
time.
kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
And as a 6, the fear of rejection probably took over.
Oh,
And you're
yeah.
like,
Or just like the fear of rejection and fear of like, I don't want to make her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
But that's such a power move too. Like even remember our like first makeout session out there, and you like I'll never forget you like backed up on the car, put your hands in your pockets, and like leaned up on the car. I was like, power move.
Damn.
Because
Nissan Altima I was borrowing because
he backed up. It was like such this power move of like removing yourself from like a hot makeout session. It was like, oh, okay, like
Come
I don't
to
know.
me.
Yeah, no. It just like wasn't intrusive, and like for the first time as a woman was like, oh, the decisions. It's the balls in my court.
Yeah, and I guess
good
I do
move.
better in that. And when it comes to dating, like guys suck, so like don't spend so much time trying to worry about what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, know yourself. I think that goes the farthest way. If you know yourself, we can tell right away. I know that's hard to do, but that's something that really catches attention. Guys are just shitty.
Yeah, they are the worst.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
course.
we are.
Me and Rachel we had a super awkward first kiss in front of her parents' house, or her mom's house, back when we were younger.
No.
Before you got married, right?
It wasn't out in front of my parents' house.
Oh, no, it was inside.
It was inside of my
Yeah.
parents' house,
Oh,
in
where?
my bedroom. It was horrible.
It was the worst. So after
In the room we used to record in.
No, I moved into my sister's room when she went to college.
Oh, gotcha.
This is a little
But
bit bigger.
so after our first date, we like walked around. I think it's Hudson, a little bit. We walked
first in
around
Maine.
Hudson.
First date as adults.
First date as adults. She sits me down on this park bench and she just like lays one on me to see if I was like able and ready.
Well, I
and, like,
asked. I was like, "So can we kiss?"
Yeah.
Wow,
But she wanted
right?
to test. She wanted to test drive to
Yeah.
see if I was able to.
Because he was a bad kisser at the age
Yeah.
of 18.
First kiss carries
Aren't
a lot
we
of weight.
all?
It's hard.
No, I was good. I know
No,
I was good.
Damn.
What?
No,
Not
I
me.
sucked.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you were bad.
Hand up, I sucked.
You're
I
hot
wasn't
now,
slipping
but
tongue.
No, if you slip tongue, you're a bad kisser, first kisser. You gotta. I'm not saying peck the
you
person.
do it like a
but-
little,
Yeah.
but don't.
It's in the
Slip
It's
tongue.
in the
Yeah,
part of
no,
the
no,
lip.
no.
It's in the lip. It's not the tongue. It's your lip.
Okay.
A lot of lip work.
Yeah,
Lip work.
a lot of practice.
Oh my
I
god.
did not practice.
Okay, so let's see. When is the right time to move in with your partner from the male perspective?
Wow. Okay.
It's completely situational with everybody.
100%. I think that's actually, Josh, that's such a solid point. Like, it's the relationship and then also yourself. I wanted to say, like, one, you as a guy have to reach the maturity where you're comfortable. And that means how you organize your life, how you structure your life. And you have to, this is so key, like, not be embarrassed by, like, some of the things you do. Because if you move in and you're hiding some of your, like, weird quirks, then that's going to be a problem because you're not fully yourself. But I hear, like, oh, I moved in with my partner and, like, he's gross. He does this. He sleeps in. He leaves cups everywhere. Well, like, maybe he wasn't ready to move in because he didn't reach, like, the organizational structure that he needed. So as a guy, like, you need to reach that first. And girls are stronger than us, and they're there before we are. So
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily rate cleanliness as like the pillar of
yeah,
being ready. I think it's more like the vulnerability and your communication level.
ooh, nice.
You know, like if you are messy by nature and
But also, if you're messy by nature with a girl who is strict about cleanliness,
It's not all about maturity. Is more about
but
messiness.
you have to be able to say and be at a point where like this isn't a priority for me. This is why it's not a priority for me. I'm going to meet you here.
Oh,
Like you have to be at a place of emotional maturity to the point where you're not just say like fuck you, this is how I live.
right?
Where like when Josh and I talk about cleanliness, where like it's something I struggle with, but because Josh is a 6, I'm an 8, he needs me to lead in it, or else he's not going to be self-disciplined enough to do it himself.
Right.
It's a struggle where like I own like it is not a place that I have emotional availability right now. I cannot keep my room clean right now. It's not a priority for me. And I mean, I honestly think if it was a very high priority for Josh, we would not be together.
oh, I got you.
You know, like we wouldn't
Like
be
living
together.
together.
Yeah. Because I just say like I've got a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
I also like, especially coming like I was married to someone with legitimate OCD.
Yeah. Well,
So when I
that's
moved back in with my mom, it was like I could breathe again.
Oh, wow.
I just let my freak flag fly. I just let it all out.
I
do you think?
feel like that is for me, cleanliness is important, and that's a way of like Joe showing up for me because he knows that that's important to me, and he knows that like I function my best in a clean environment. So it's like if he does the dishes, that's him looking out. Like I feel like that's him showing up and doing those things for me. But that differs between different people.
But what's
too.
funny is like, if that is something for Josh, he's never verbalized it because he's a 6.
And I never will.
Like because but that's my thing. He adds to the mess, right? So it's like I've never felt like you are like this is a deal breaker.
If he was like frantically cleaning, you would be like, okay, I'm helping out. You know what I mean? Like you're
Right.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
And also, we were very fortunate that we had the chance to slow play it a little bit for over a year we were together. We also lived far apart, over an hour away. So when we did see each other, like we were forced to stay the night. So that kind of like slowly introduced ourselves into each other's world. And that was really nice. But we also had escape early on. We're like, okay, I stayed the night 2 nights. Now we have our own time. And then we started to, hey, I'd rather just be with you. I'm more comfortable there. Which was so nice. And Jess, I mean, goddamn superstar. Just like how our house is and how accepting you were to me, like when I did kind of first move in.
Yeah, no, and I'm by no means like a crazy neat freak. Like weekends go by and like we can chill, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like clean every fucking plate. No, but I feel like
together.
Like I do feel like I function my best in a clean environment. Like that's just who I am, and I feel like that's just where I'm at my best. And I feel like you know that, and as long as you're on board with that, cool. Then we keep
a weird thing for me that I feel like is. So I've struggled with my depression my whole life, and it's the only way it manifests now, the only real way. So like having a messy house is very kind of innate of me because it's not regimented. It's not, but it's the only way that I feel like okay. Like I say this all the time. I was like, it's how my depression manifests. It's what's happening.
But now you have an answer to why it's happening. Which feels better. The last thing I'll say about it, do it before you're married. Live together before
because you get the real.
Okay, so let's do one. We'll do 2 more. Okay.
Cool.
Who wants kids sooner, girls or guys? Or neither? Totally cool too.
We'll go first on this.
That's tough.
Yeah,
I mean, it's something
we're navigating now. Okay, so it's like after you're married, you talk about kids, and it's we go back and forth. We're like, okay, when do we have kids? What's a good time? What's not a good time? I guess after we're married, it doesn't matter, right? If we have kids, cool. But it's like, I think it's an equal parts amount, like that we both want kids eventually. But I think like in this journey that we're both on now in our first year of marriage and like really enjoying this and enjoying each other and being in therapy and doing all the things together, it's like enjoy that. And I don't know, I guess like when it happens, but I don't know if one of us wants kids more than the other. We both equally want kids together, and we want to have a family, and that's super important to us.
I think I guess when you go to like maybe the questions looking at guys versus girls too, like maybe the media or stereotypes tell us like, oh, girls want babies first, and I don't think that's true.
Not in our relationship.
I don't think it's true at all.
It's a partnership, so you have to both come together.
It's so
at
equal.
this point,
and it's so personal. Like one relationship, a guy might really want kids. I have friends that they can't wait to be dads, where their partners are like, hey, I'm not ready to be a mom. And I think the other thing we have to consider is your career. It's very demanding. You work so hard and you don't have the availability. So we want to time this in a way that gives us access to be the best parents we can. And marriage is the best thing that's ever happened to me. But it's also, in a way, like there's a lot of challenges that we're learning. So I don't want to put a child in a position where we didn't become the best versions of ourselves for that kid. Let's work on that first.
Or where you have to put your growth on pause.
Yes, exactly.
To raise a human life.
Right.
Yeah.
Like equally as stoked to be mom and dad, and like
stoked.
We both love that about each other. That's the reason like You know what I mean? We're together too. Like, we wanted to raise a family. Our values are aligned in that, and like we're equally as stoked. Like I said,
Went to a soccer game on Saturday, and I had baby fever.
and
like
he was
crazy.
like, "We need to have a kid immediately because I need to be here. Want him to be at this age so I can coach his soccer team." And like, yeah, the stoke is there, but it's also like, don't take away from what we're going through now, and like
parents, man, shout out
and
the
like
sacrifice.
to be the best version of ourselves as humans to raise another human.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Josh.
Yeah, no, let's so are we gonna end on a good question, a funny one? Or?
Josh, you didn't answer the question. Who wants kids first?
I kind of did.
Yeah,
We both have to come. Both parties
So
in the
true.
relationship have to come to this point, to where they're both comfortable with having a child and both mentally in that space to have a kid.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm here and you're here.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Josh had a lot of baby fever, and I think a lot of misplaced excitement about having kids
Oh, God.
can be from trying to relive your own childhood trauma or trying to rewrite the childhood you couldn't have, more so. Right. And I think that was you to a T. And then one of my best friends, Madison, Eric, her son was like 2 at the time.
Cute kid.
And Madison was doing work at my house because her computer was like fucked up. And so she was like downstairs and she was like, Josh, can you watch Eric? And like Josh was just upstairs. And, Eric was watching TV for maybe 5 minutes. Then he wanted to go outside. Then he wanted to go for a walk. Then he wanted to play with Barley. Then he wanted to go here. At the end of the day, Josh was like laying down in our bed.
Loud as hell.
And he was like, Rach, I don't know if I can do this.
Right, though?
And I was like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because it's important to acknowledge that, like, having a kid is like, you need so much goddamn patience.
Yeah.
What scares me, like, first, we need to shout out to these parents all over the
Seriously.
world. I mean, Kelly, Sean, what the hell? 4 kids. And, like, I think about, okay, I have a kid, like, I'll get through the baby phase, like, and then I'll have the fun. But, like, no, like, I'm turning 32 on Friday, and I still call my mom and dad, like, hey, like, this is going on in life. Like, you have that responsibility as a parent until your last day. And, like...
But I also don't think about, like, who wants kids more. It's like, I don't think we're at a point where, like, okay, cool. We're both mentally perfect where we want to be. Our marriage is great. Let's have kids.
Never
I don't think
gonna
it's
get
ever going to work like
No.
that. I think it's... And I feel like Madison is the one person that told me this. And I'll never forget it. Shout out Madison. That she was like, Jess, you will forever in your whole life never think you're ready for a kid. Like, financially, you make it work. Emotionally, you just make it happen. Like, it just happens. And Madison is one of the most... It's just been such a beauty to witness her as a mother. And I truly believe that she is just, like, such an inspiration for me in being a mom, that she's just like, you just do. You just do instinctively, and you do it wholeheartedly. And, like, she's a fucking wonderful mother, so it's like, that is such an inspiration to me, being like, you're equipped no matter where you're at in your life. Yes, could you have been more equipped? Yeah, but like, you always will be equipped.
Oh yeah, I know for a fact, like, one of my like more like sad parts of my life is that my dad is older. And so a lot of my motivation, even in our life, to like, is because I know that I need to see my dad hold my kids.
Oh my God, yes.
Because I have friends who's like, Madison, we're name dropping you, okay? She lost her mom when she was 11. Her grief for her mother, as soon as she had Eric, came.
I can't imagine.
Because she was like, I don't know why, but I need my mom.
Yeah.
I feel like I need my mom to be here, and she's not here, and I feel broken. And I so badly want to avoid that.
Last question.
Well, I want you guys to ask each other that question, because it feels very weird coming from us.
No, I don't know why you guys are so shy of this, because this question's really good. And it was simply to Josh and I, what is it like to be surrounded by greatness, being Rachel and Jess?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. just seeing Rachel grow this podcast with Jess and also opening up a new business, and maintaining her current business as a wedding photographer. It's incredible to see, and I love bragging to everybody about her. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh,
Shut
dude.
up.
Well said. I mean, just when he said like it's incredible, that's such a good word to use, because like I had the opportunity to know Jess before the Jess Cart Photography, before these adventures, and like she's a new person. I think she's the person she's wanted to be. Seeing these two like take on the world, both in the podcast world, in their careers, and as partners to Josh and I, it's motivating.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it reminds us like, okay, like Jess and Rach deserve the best versions of Josh and I.
Right.
And we owe that to them to give them that life. And
Yeah.
shout out to Matt and Kim, two of our friends. Matt told me once, right when I got engaged, he said, being married is the best thing that can ever happen to you, because like your partnership becomes like your priority and you have a partner. And seeing you two like accomplish all of this personally and professionally, it's motivating to me to kind of try to keep up, but like not to keep up to compete, but to be the partner you deserve.
Right.
Well, shout out to you, Joe, for motivating me to start Jess Cart Photography.
Truly.
I don't know if you know this. You and Rach, the two people sitting right next to me, I get emotional about it every time. But you two are the two people who inspired me to start this. Joe literally wrote into Rach about me
put me on
being in admission
I just heard the story.
to
Yeah,
retreat
same.
yourself, but also like Joe was like, no, I believe in you, like wholeheartedly. I've never felt that from two people more in my life. So shout out to you, Joe. Yeah, it comes right back at you. So I wouldn't be here inspiring you if you didn't inspire me.
No, I know Josh even said this, like, this is insane what you guys are doing. And we just cannot wait to see where this is going to go. A year from now, Josh and I will be stay-at-home dads.
Yes. Yeah.
No.
Don't get your hopes up.
No, I like working.
No.
Don't get your hopes up, but no, we're super
So proud.
super thankful.
Mm-hmm.
We are. Thank you guys for being willing to come on
Yeah.
the pod.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry if we
Introduce yourself.
hijacked it.
No, we're thankful. It's nice to get a little break and like put you guys in the spotlight.
For sure.
Yeah, we're thankful to be guests.
Yes.
Signing off. It's
Signing
been great.
It's been great.
Me and Joe killed it. Not to brag.
We really did.
You
I mean,
did.
if you guys want to follow us with our own podcast, no, I'm kidding.
Starting their own
Yeah.
summer 16.
Let's just get down with
It's
the
just me,
sixes.
Joe, and Drake.
Yeah, summer 16, right?
6 gods.
6 gods. That's so good.
Drake, if you can just text me.
I
we'll play when we're recording.
I'd prefer it be down with the sickness.
It's so good.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
but-
We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
For 2 weeks in a row.
Let's go.
You guys are the best.
We love you. Comment, like, yada yada.
Subscribe.
This is for better and worse.
Sheesh.
We never know what to do with our outros.